The Tuareg rebels in northern Mali say they have seized control of 2 military bases in the town of Lere near the border with Mauritania. Violence has escalated since UN peacekeeping troops began withdrawing from the north. The pullout was demanded by Mali's junta. Coup leaders say they're considering mobilising reservists and have called off Independence Day celebrations next week. While Tuareg rebels in the north of Mali want autonomy for the desert region they call Azawad. They're concerned the pullout by UN peacekeepers will allow Mali's military to seize areas given up in a ceasefire agreed in 2015. Well, Erwan De Cherisey is a specialist of defence and security issues and principal at Janes, which provides open source intelligence and analysis. He joins us from Bordeaux in France. Thank you very much for being on Al Jazeera. First of all, can you just outline how dangerous the situation is right now?
Thank you. The situation is definitely degrading. The Malian military has apparently experienced several setbacks, and these issues against these armed militant groups, which were signatories to the Algiers Accords of 2015, add to the problems that Mali is facing with the jihadist groups. The fact that Timbuktu is encircled and in a state of blockade and cannot be resupplied. So it definitely feels that the Malian military is in a back foot, as it has not been seen since 2013. And it's very hard to say where the situation is going to go, but it's definitely cause for concern. And there is a high probability that things will get just worse.
Has the UN withdrawal triggered or helped trigger this latest round of fighting?
Well, I think it started before. It was I think the French withdrawal was the first catalyst, because the French were very effectively targeting armed jihadist groups and were seen as an important guarantor of the respect of the Algiers Accord by the Tuareg militant groups in the north. And so the departure of the French, which was met with a degree of incredulity by some of the Tuareg groups, already started what we're seeing now. And this was only aggravated by the departure of the UN. It should be remembered that the UN never had a mandate to enforce peace. They didn't have an offensive mandate. They were there to act as a stabilization force. So their ability to carry out operation against armed groups was limited, but their presence alone helped keep things in check, I would say.
Right. And how are the groups fighting the army? I mean, are they working together or are they fighting each other at the same time?
No, it's a very complex situation. The jihadists are definitely doing their own thing and fighting each other. The Islamic State in the Grand Sahara is fighting the Support Group for Islam and Muslims, which is an Al-Qaeda affiliate. Meanwhile, the secular Tuareg armed groups have made it very clear that they're not connected in any way with the jihadists. And these groups are divided between those that are still somehow connected and loyal to Bamako and those that are against it. And on top of that, you have, of course, the Malian armed forces. So it's quite a complicated setting.
There are obviously much deeper issues here. I mean, can this conflict be solved only through military means at this stage, do you think?
I don't think so. I think the deep-seated issue is the feeling of marginalization that the north of Mali has always had with regard to the south, and that the issues have much to do with security as well as socio-economic development, and the lack of recognition of these problems by the central government. And this is not something new. This is something that has been going on in one way or another for the past 60 years. And the militaristic approach, which consists to simply, tackle issues with force, hasn't worked, and doesn't feel that it could work in the future, given the situation.
Okay, thank you so much. That is Erwan De Cherisey, a specialist of defence and security issues. Thanks so much for your time.